Iowa's world. Okay, so it is hot. I was trying to go for like a dewy look. I think I just look like I'm sweating. So I just, if you see me just spritz my face, it's because it's hot. It's like 30 degrees. So my name is Mayowa, and today I am going to be talking about vaginal health. On my YouTube, I talk a lot about my freeform locks. I talk a lot about feminism. I talk a lot about vaginal health because that's something that I feel like should be discussed more but isn't. And I'm going to tell you guys about my Bartholin Cyst experiences because it's plural at this point. You guys, I'm also looking for an assistant. I'm looking for an intern. I know this is like the time that everyone's chilling because of coronavirus. So if you want to email me and say you're willing to work for me, this is the time, because I need help. I need support. I make my own videos. I write my own. I do the captions, which takes forever because I make such long videos. So my captions are like 20 minutes long, and I'm just like listening to everything and transcribing it. But if anybody wants to just help me with captioning, I would be made appreciative. I'd be mad appreciative, because yeah, any help counts. Now on to my Bartholin cyst. You guys, the story of my vagina is it's a long journey. Actually, you know what I'll do a story of my vagina, and then I'll like add on, because I feel like it actually is important. So I was born with a vagina. So most of my life, I have not had any problems with my vagina. I've been very grateful to her. You know what I'm saying? She's been coming through for me in times of need. You know what I'm saying? Giving me pleasure, giving me things that I love. I was like, you know what? I fuck with you, you know? And then a year ago, everything completely changed. So a year ago, I had a cyst on my vagina. And I didn't really know what it was. It was like a lump. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And I think maybe 3 months had gone by, and then I went to my gynecologist because it was really small and it wasn't like interfering with anything I was doing. It wasn't hurting me. Then I went to my gynecologist, and she told me that it was a Bartholin cyst. And I was like, never heard of that word. I was freaking out. And she was like, nah, it's like not a big deal. She was super, super, super nonchalant about it. And she was like, if you want, you can get it removed. If you want, you can keep it. But I'm freaking out because I'm like, I've never seen this before, so I don't know why this is like that. One of my best friends has struggled with having Bartholin cyst severely. And I remember when she was telling me about it on the phone, I was like, oh, that sounds like the worst thing ever. But I didn't recognize that what I had is the same thing that she had. So I hit her up, and she gave me way more advice and comfort than the gynecologist was giving me. She was telling me that she's had it like 10 times, that it's been reoccurring, that she's had different procedures. Like, she gave me a walkthrough that comforted me. So I was like, okay, it's not a problem. It's not that big of a deal. Let me just keep going about my day. So months had gone by, and it wasn't really uncomfortable for me. I'm trying to remember when it became uncomfortable. I don't really know exactly when it became uncomfortable, but I remember one night I went to bed, I woke up, and I had like a fever, and my cyst was massive and it hurt to walk. And so prior to that night, I just clicked. I did stand-up comedy. I was out and about. I was moving a lot. You know what I'm saying? She likes to wear tight coochie cutter clothes, you know? So it was all in that. And it had just swollen, and it was really big, and I couldn't walk. I had a fever. I was taking ibuprofen, and it wasn't taking the fever down, so I went to the hospital. While I was at the hospital, she looked at it, and she was like, oh, it's really big. You got to get this removed now. So it was so fast, because it just like literally in one day, it just swelled. And what happened? So she did a procedure, which I was thinking at the time was a marsupilation, but I'm not sure if that's what it is. But she cut it. I was under anesthesia, so I was out. She cut it open, let it drain, and then stuffed like tissue into the hole. It's like a hole in your vagina, which is crazy because I already have other holes in my vagina. But she stuffed like a tissue into it, and I woke up and I was in pain. And she told me the next day I had to like take it out myself. It was just like a long like toilet roll paper. I don't know, long paper, whatever. I was in pain. It hurt. 1 out of 10 is probably like a 7 out of 10. And I couldn't walk for a few days. I was very weak for a few days. And then I didn't have a cyst, and I was so happy. And that was like in July. And then maybe in July, August, September, maybe in like October, I have another lump again, a small lump in the same place. And I was like, how? I was so sad. You go into like a crazy depression because you're like, how did this come back? And then I was like reading online about stuff, and I was seeing this one girl who talked about how she did baths every day. So what I did is I took a hot bath like twice a day. I put heat on it. I then did this like turmeric coconut paste, which is really messy, by the way. And I put it on there, and then I was in London at the time, and I got this medication that was like some kind of I forgot what it's called. I'll tag the name. It just like passed me, but I put it on there, which is supposed to like a drawing salve. It's supposed to draw it out. And I did that, and I went for a walk, and it popped on its own, and I felt absolutely nothing, and I was so happy, and I was like, yes, I found the cure. I'm so excited. And then like a month later, maybe like a month and a half, 2 months later, in December or like late November, it came back again. And I was just like, oh my God. I go to the doctors here in America. She's telling me, yeah, it's a cyst. You have to get it removed. So I was just like, ugh, I got it removed. That procedure, which was a marsupialation, was like a 9 out of 10 in pain. Like I woke up and I was immediately just crying. It was the worst pain my body's ever been through. Like I was genuinely shook by, because I have a really high pain tolerance, so a bitch is like, let's go. And I woke up and I was like, let's not go. This is horrible. This is terrible. Like it was horrible pains. So and that like hit my heart. Like that surgery hit my heart, because it just was so painful, and it made me like really have to slow down. And that was like a month ago. And after I had the procedure, my vagina looked different, and I was like, huh, okay, my vagina looks different than what I'm used to. And then a week, maybe about 10 days after the surgery, no, 14 days after the surgery, so like a week after it's like healed, barely, it comes back. The way my heart like felt, like I was just like, wow. In 1 year, I've had 3 cysts on the same side. And so I go to my doctor, and I was feeling just terrible. I was feeling so sad, because it also makes you just feel like, what am I must be doing something wrong. Like if my body's doing this, I must be doing something wrong. And it also, like on a deeper level, it also made me really scared to have pleasure, to have any kind of sexual pleasure, because I was feeling like it feels as if your body went through like a shock, right? So then you're scared to get wet. You're scared to do anything with your pussy, because you're afraid that if you do it, something bad will happen, right? Because if you've had it 3 times, psychologically, I think my body felt like it was in shock. So I was really scared. I would get like deep panics. I was like, no, I don't want it to. So I was like, after the procedure happened, she was like, yeah, it's like an 85 or 90% chance it's not gonna come back. So I was like really like living my best life, like having fun, you know? My pussy has been healed a week, and that shit is already lit and popping and better than yours. And slowly learning to like trust my pussy again, and then bam, it came back. So I talked to her about it, and she was like, sometimes people's bodies just do that. She was like, I've never seen, in my whole time being a gynecologist, I've never seen someone have it come back like in a week like yours has. She was like, I've seen people have it after 3-4 months, and that's already rare, but like yours just come back in a week. She's like, it's not that big, so you can keep it and just kind of keep monitoring it and see it, and if it happens again, I have to do the surgery again. I also found out at this time that what I had wasn't actually a Bartholin cyst. It was a labian cyst, so it was a cyst on my labia, not on my Bartholin area. But the one I have now is a Bartholin cyst, so on the same side. So I cried, you know, like when I came back from the gynecologist, I just cried because I was just like, why me? Why does this keep happening? What does it say about me? You know, it makes you kind of then like question your worth, and like even the concept of a cyst being from toxicity, or just like, what is it about me? Like what's... And then luckily I had such like supportive people around me. Like my mom really made me feel better in that time, and she just was like, everyone has something in their body that just doesn't always flow the way they want it to. Some people you can see it, some people's you can't, you know? So don't get mad at your body for having something that isn't flowing the way you want it to flow. And yeah. So I'm trying to think, how do I even... But so I was like so sad, and then I hit a point where I was like, you know what? Like this is my body. I can't like get mad at my body when it's showing symptoms of like when it's not doing what I want it to do. When it does do what I want it to do, I'm super happy. Like I can't be like, I don't know, I have to take everything as it is. I have to take it with the ups and the downs. Like I have to take my vagina with the blessings it's gave me, and also the pains that it's given me, because it's a part of my journey, it's a part of my story, and I don't really know why it keeps happening. But I also think getting into the mentality of always wanting to know why doesn't really give you anything in the end. It often can be just like self-deprecating, because I think for me, I was like, what have I done? What does it say about me? Should I tell people? I don't want people to think that I'm gross, or like that I'm not taking care of myself, especially with like the kind of content that I make about like loving your body and about keeping your body natural if that's what you want to do. I was really insecure about like saying I'm having these problems. But I think anytime I know I'm feeling insecure about something, I like to share it, to just get it off my chest. I'm like, let me come for my pussy before you come for my pussy, you know, let me tell my truth before you try to tell my truth. And so like I feel liberated in that. I've noticed that really like I don't like within health and wellness is like the gurus who feel like because something is wrong in your body, it's your fault, or the people who I feel like don't really understand anything about chronic illness, or have had something that just isn't going away. Because so many people were like, yeah, it's probably, you know, it's probably because you're stressed, so as soon as you remove stress, it's gone. Or maybe you should do this with your diet, or maybe you should, like a lot of people giving advice when they haven't been through it, and like associating like healthiness as it being something that is always visible. Does that make sense? Like, I mean, like, I went most of my life never having vaginal problems, never going through vaginal surgery, never having cysts. But that doesn't mean that I was healthy. That just means I have good genetics. Like, if you look at me, if you look at a video of me, even when I'm eating unwell, even when I'm not doing well, because of my genetics, I am a healthy looking person. And I think people associate looking healthy with being healthy. And I think people associate having certain problems with meaning that you're not healthy. So like having vaginal problems means you're not healthy. And that's not the case. I think it's like there's so much nuance to it. And I think that people need to really like I also realize that this is rushed to try to fix things. Like I say, oh, I have a Bartholin cyst, and everyone's like, oh, have you tried like this diet or this or this, that? And I'm like, I'm not telling you this to like, especially if you haven't been through it. Like I get it if you have been through it and then you're giving me advice of like what worked for you, but like people who have like no clue, but then they're like, oh yeah, any kind of like... All right, y'all, I think my camera keeps cutting out because it's like overheated. But what I was trying to say is that like I feel like there's so much blame whenever someone gets sick, or you have like an illness, or you have like, yeah, like a chronic illness. Like people always want to like blame you for your lifestyle being the reflection of it, versus just like hearing you out and having to sit with the fact that not everything has a solution so quickly. So for anyone who's had a Bartholin cyst, as I have one now, again, it's horrible. And there's not much information out there, which I think is for a reason. I think this is a systemic problem that's affecting so many people with vaginas, and there's just not that much information of like how to treat it, like different methods. Like everything I learned was like from online forums and stuff like that. At the current moment, what I'm doing for myself is like I've decided to eat strictly vegan at this time, and then slowly add things back if I want to just kind of see how my body feels. Like one factor as well within everything is like I've also been through a lot of traumatic things. I stuttered. I've been through a lot of traumatic things in the past years, but definitely in the past year. And a part of me wonders if like this is my body's way of kind of releasing and like holding on to things. But with that being said, I don't want people to be like, oh yeah, Bartholin cyst equals trauma, or Bartholin cyst equals like person who can't move on or whatever. Like it is just what it is, and I'm just trying different things out. And it sucks, but I'm not going to throw my vagina in the trash and talk bad about her like I had been when I found out it came back, because that doesn't help me. I want to share this so you guys can kind of know that not all problems are visible to a lot of people, and I'm learning to still feel confidence even within myself with this going on. I've hit a point where like I got tired of me like being sad about it, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't know why my life is like this, but this is, you know, I always believe like everyone has like a journey written for them, but this is like a part of my journey. And me figuring out how to take care of myself and take care of my vagina better in this way is something that I'm gonna have to learn in life. And ideally, I don't want to have to go through a third procedure in 1 year, because that's too much. So I'm gonna have to find my method of feeling secure and feeling good about my pussy. It's not great though, you guys. This is horrible, and I would never wish this upon my worst enemy. No, I actually really wouldn't wish this upon like anyone. I think it's really sad and it's very painful, and I'm sorry that we have to go through this. I always like to mention like it's really important when we talk about like Bartholin cysts and like vaginal health that we don't gender this discussion, because I feel like people are always like, oh yeah, women, it's a women's issue. It's like having a vagina is not exclusive to being a woman. So I really just always like to say that in there, because I feel like so much content is just kind of limited when you think in the binaries. But that's my pussy shit, you know? That's the thing going on my vagina. I'm enjoying this like, because I used to be vegan for a while and then I stopped, and I have a lot of trauma around food in general, so I'm excited to kind of go back to enjoying to cook and finding meals, and who knows, like maybe this might stick. But don't hold me to anything, you know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm doing now, to just see myself. But we have to be comfortable with not assuming people's health because of how they look, and also be comfortable with not blaming people for why their vaginas are just different. Like, this isn't my fault. If you have this isn't your fault. It's something that you've done to deserve this. This is just something that is. And hopefully we can like share things in the comment section of what's been working and what's been helping, because I would love to hear, and I wish the best for everyone, because this is hard. So sorry this video was like really disjointed, and for some reason I'm like struggling with articulating myself today, but I hope it made sense and I hope it helped. And I'll let you guys know how my like this diet, I don't like the word diet because I don't like the word diet because it also assumes that I'm trying to like lose weight or change something, but I'll let you guys know how this like vegan food goes for me, and I'll keep you updated on my pussy. Never thought I'd be saying that on YouTube, but here I am. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Cheers.